What up, peeps? KgDrifty is in the building, and I'm here to bring you guys some more Last of Us Part 2 rant video. In today's video, man, I want to have a little bit of a discussion with a lot of people. And the reason why I'm making this video is just because I just got done where I'm not really 100% finished with it, but I'm still watching the video. But pretty much what the video was, it's pretty much was a spoiler cast video. Like, I finally got to it. I finally got to listen to it. I'm not fully done yet, but I'm halfway done. But it was really interesting watching it. And I just have some little things that I want to discuss about it and how I really feel about some certain things. But pretty much this main topic is mostly about the message. What did you guys, as a player who actually played The Last of Us Part 2 and finished it, what type of message did you get? What did the game portray to you? And how did you feel about the game overall? And with this type of question, it's just I want to just give a little bit more of my take on the game and what I interpreted as the person who actually played it and finished the game. And I also want to go in with a little bit of a, my own little distinguished, decision. Well, not even decision, more of my opinion about it, especially what Troy Baker said in terms of like what the message people gotten with the game and how people who didn't like the game and when they said they'll never play it and things like that. But, overall, with The Last of Us Part 2, I mean, I do believe that this game is literally, it's not really, you can interpret this game many ways. This game has many meanings. This game has a lot of different, opinions, and you can take whatever you want to take with it because it has so many messages within this game. And based on, at least for me, my personal opinion, when I played it from the beginning to end, at least from what I gathered from the game itself, what I've gathered with the message that Neil Druckmann and the rest of the writers basically was trying to convey to us as players was just like, one of the things is, you never know, pretty much, there's two sides to different stories, you know what I mean? So, and what I mean by that is just like, when you go down from the Ellie and then Joel and all that stuff, when they're in their whole little town, they're living peacefully, this and that, and Ellie, she's not liking Joel for what he's done. You know what I mean? And then when it goes down to Abby, and then when her moment comes up to why she killed Joel, and you notice like, oh, it makes sense to why she killed him, even though we hate that that's how it happened, or at least that's how the death that they gave Joel. You know what I mean? I just take from it as there's different sides to different stories, because Abby lives a great life. Maybe, she has family, friends. She has friends that care about her. She has people that she care about. Same thing with Ellie. You know what I mean? So you can't, different aspects of their lives, or different aspects of every other, even our lives and even in real life, you know what I mean? Everyone has their own story to tell, and everyone has their own journey that they're going through, like as in, for pretty much a good example with that, say like, you're talking to a person right now, like you go to a store, you buy something, you have a conversation with the clerk or something. The clerk is probably going through some hard time with family, like a relative dying, or they're about to go homeless or anything like that. And that's for you, you probably living a good life, comfortable, not have to worry about things like that. So I just feel like, in terms of that, I think that what they were trying to convey in that aspect is just like, we all have something that we're dealing with in life. Everything happens, anything, you can't necessarily know what's going on with other people's lives because everyone is just so much different. There's just two sides to each story within everyone's life. And another little take that I did get from the game as well, and it's going to touch more about the revenge aspect and the anger because, Neil Druckmann was also saying to a lot of fans that it's going to be a very diverse fan base with The Last of Us, especially for people who like the first game. And that is so of like, some people are going to hate it and some people are going to love it. And I think that with the aspect of the whole take of the whole revenge plot, what I gathered, because like I said, everyone has their own different thought process and message behind it. But also when it comes down to the revenge plot, and what I gather with that is just that revenge is just a fool man's game. Revenge is pointless at the end of the day. Why is it pointless? It's pointless because, when you're going out to get that revenge, you're going to, because since revenge is more of a selfless type of act, and it's kind of selfish, it is selfish, not only to yourself, but also to the people around you. Why? Because a lot of people can tend to get hurt. You put a lot of your loved ones at risk. People end up getting hurt, and people end up dying, or people, you end up losing those friends, or you're losing that relationship along the way. Because you put those people in an unnecessary type of danger, all because you want to get that revenge. And, and at the end of the day, revenge is just a never-ending cycle, because I think that all of us who played the game, or just all of us in reality, would, if someone were to kill your loved one, let's say if someone were to kill your mom or something like that, not everybody, but I feel like majority of people would, you're going to want to go out and get that revenge. It's like, let's all be real with ourselves. Like, if a motherfucker came in your household, killed your fucking parents, literally, you're going to find everything in your power to hunt that motherfucker down. And if whoever's associated with that person, you're going to go back and you're going to come back at them 10 times harder so they can feel the exact same pain until you can get them. So I think that it's very interesting, and it's very cool how they conveyed that message and how they conveyed revenge, because at the end of the day, no matter, even from the game and even in reality, we're all going, not everybody, but a lot of people are going to go out and seek their revenge. But what are you going to do, and what all the stuff that you're going to take in order to seek that revenge? Is it really worth losing everyone that you love on that whole journey? Because once you go out for revenge and you kill that person, everything's going to happen right back. It's just going to be a continuous cycle. That person, their family or whoever, is going to come back and try to hunt you down, and they're going to kill the people that you love. So it's a very interesting take, and I think everyone already knew this at the end of the day, because, with any type of revenge, it's going to be somebody, not everybody, but somebody's going to come back and get you, and it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. So I think that, revenge is just a selfless act. It's very selfish, because it's selfish to not only yourself, like I said, it's selfish to other people around you. So it's a very interesting take on it. And I think that personally, for me playing it, I do believe that I think that I don't really like the game as much, just because of how they conveyed the message with the story. You know what I mean? I feel like it was very lazy writing. They could have done a better job. But, a lot of video games and a lot of, stories or movies have a revenge plot with that same cliche thing. But it's just how you do it, how you convey that message, how you change the message up, how do you write that story to make it a little bit more original or a little bit more different. So, it's very interesting on how things go with that. But I do, at least in terms of messages on what the game, that's what I did take from the game. It's just at least one of those two things, because it's not all the ways about violence. It's really just about, there's two sides to different stories. You can't necessarily judge a person until you know what their story is to why they're doing that. And on top of that, revenge is just nothing but, it's just nothing but a continuous cycle. It's a full man's game, because at the end of the day, you hurt everyone that you love, and everyone that you love is going to get hurt due to your selfless act at the end of the day. But that's more of my take on the message type. But I want to get a little bit more of a change of the topic. Well, still on the same topic, but not really. But when I watched that, whole YouTube thing between Neil Druckmann and Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker about it, but when they were asked what did they take from the game, I know there's a specific thing that Troy Baker did say, and I will disagree with him. Because you can't necessarily say this, and it's not really your place, but he says, it's going to be kind of a little bit of change of words, because I can't really remember, but I'm going to try to remember as much as possible. But he was pretty much just saying, like, he don't understand how people who say they won't, they will never play the game based on based on what happened, or, they will never touch it, they will never give it a chance. And then Troy Baker was just pretty much implying that, it's not fair for everyone else, for you to not do that. Like, how can you do that when you don't even know what the message is or anything like that? And I just feel like, you can actually see what he actually said, just look at the video, but I'm just pretty much taking what he's pretty much trying to imply, I guess. But my message for him and just anyone else is that you don't have to play the game in order to understand the message. You don't have to play the game in order to not like the game, because there's a gazillion millions of walkthroughs on YouTube of a game. You know what I mean? You can literally sit there, watch a video game, and literally judge what you don't like. Obviously, it's not the same as playing it, but everyone is playing the game, obviously, for the gameplay, but the main bread and butter of it is the story with Last of Us. So you don't necessarily have to play The Last of Us in order to not like it, because you can see what the story is. So I just feel like it's just not fair to everyone. It's not fair, or it's not cool for you to tell somebody that, you can't necessarily make that opinion or make that judgment without you playing the game, when you can judge however the fuck you want to judge a game. At the end of the day, you can judge whatever you want to judge You know, you don't have to play anything. You don't have to watch anything in order to judge something. I mean, yes, if you don't see it, or if you don't, you know, in terms of seeing it, like if you don't watch the whole YouTube video of a video game, right? Or if you haven't seen the movie and you just going out judging it based on what other people are saying, obviously 9 times out of 10, you're valid, you know, what you're saying isn't going to be validated because you don't know what the fuck what it is. You just going based on what people are saying. But if you a person that just you don't even have to play, you're just watching a whole walkthrough, or if you're on, you know, you watching clips, or if you like reading the whole plot of what's going on, I guess, you can make a judgment however you want. At the end of the day, it's a free country. You have every right to judge and think what you want to say. And I think that what a lot of problem, what the biggest problem is with a lot of people, and this even goes from Neil Druckmann and Troy Baker and everyone else at Naughty Dog, is that not everyone is going to agree with what you like at the end of the day. And this goes for everyone, man. Because I think us as human beings, we have this problem of judging a person for not liking what you like. And you have to understand, just because a person don't have to like what you like. Everyone has their own opinions. Everyone has their own judgment of something. If they don't like it, then who gives a shit? They don't like it. Because you bashing their opinion and you're bashing them for what they think or how they feel don't give you no type of right to cuss them out, make death threats, or say this and that just because they don't like what you like. We're all human beings. We're not going to not everyone is going to agree with what you agree with. So I just feel like at the end of the day, just go about how you want to go about it. At the end of the day, you can interpret this game or interpret anything in life however you want to interpret it. And I feel like anyone who haven't played The Last of Us Part 2 and who instead of not playing it, they actually watch the game, they have every right to say how they want to say. If you don't like it, you don't like it. At the end of the day, if a person likes it, you like it, you know? And my message for like Neil Druckmann and everyone, at the end of the day, this is your game. This is what you wanted to, how you wanted to convey your message. This is how you want it to present your story. If you like it how you did it, then fuck it. That's how you like it. It's your shit. You have every right to like what you like because you made the shit. Fuck what everybody else got to say at the end of the day, because what? They didn't go through the hard work. They didn't go through the pain and struggle to make the game. They just judging it based off of whatever, how you wrote the story. Who gives a shit what I think? I think, like I said, I think the story was poorly written, but other people think differently. A lot of people think that the game was a masterpiece. It's probably one of the best pieces of works that, you know, gaming history has ever seen. I disagree 100% on that, but at the end of the day, how you want to portray the game and however you want to judge it or whatever you want to say, at the end of the day, you have every right to do so because it's a free country. You have the freedom of speech to say what you want to say. Just because someone else don't agree with just because someone don't agree with how you agree with something, don't be a dickhead and judge them because they don't want to agree with what you want to agree. We all have our own opinions at the end of the day. You can think how you want to think. You can say however the fuck you want to say because it's a free country. You have every right to do so. You know what I mean? But that's really just more of my take on it. You know, what did you guys gather from The Last of Us Part 2? You know, what is your message? What type of message did you get from The Last of Us Part 2? Whatever you got from it, comment below. Let me know. Let's have a big discussion about this. And on top of that, you know what I mean? If you guys, you know, whatever your thoughts on in terms of that aspect of, you know, liking whatever you want to like or saying however you want to feel, let me know your thoughts, man. Let's have a big discussion about this because I feel like this is very interesting, especially with a lot of the controversy that's been going on with The Last of Us Part 2, because it kind of still is going on a little bit. It died down a little bit, but it's still going. But, you know, I know it's kind of late to bring up this type of topic, but let me know, man. Let's have a big discussion about it. Hope you guys enjoy it. More great videos coming soon, and I'll see you guys in the next one.